Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary of the story of the Trailblaze mission, The Sound and the Fury, released in Honkai Star Rail version 2.0. The crew of the Astral Express readies to head to Penacony. Pom-Pom briefs the crew on three things. First, Penacony is located in Izdana, a star system filled with Memoria. Memoria may cause symptoms like dizziness, hallucinations, and distorted memories, among other things. Second, Penacony is a colony belonging to the Harmony family, also known as the Family. The family extended public invitations to various factions across the universe to the Charmony Festival. This includes the Astral Express. This is the first time the family has done so. Third, thousands of years ago, former passengers of the Astral Express disembarked and made Penacony their home. Those three were named Tiernan, Legwork, and Rosalina. Pom-Pom now asks them to spare some time and inquire into what happened to them. The crew gets ready and the Astral Express warp jumps to Penacony. As it happens, the Trailblazer is transported to an unfamiliar location. The Trailblazer then meets a Galaxy Ranger named Acheron. Acheron explains they are somehow sharing the same Dreamscape and offers to guide the Trailblazer out. Side note, Dreamscapes are pretty much just streams. Acheron says the Trailblazer won't remember anything that happens here. The two make their way through the Dreamscape and Acheron asks the Trailblazer a few questions before being struck by Acheron. The Trailblazer then wakes up to Pom-Pom standing in front of her. Pom-Pom says they arrived at Penacony and the Trailblazer does not seem to have a high tolerance to Memoria. The Trailblazer then heads to the Reverie Hotel on Penacony with March 7th. They make it to the lobby and meet Misha, a hotel doorman. Misha explains the Reverie Hotel is a hotel on the Penacony in reality. Through the dream pools located in their hotel rooms, the guests can enter the real Penacony in the Dreamscape. The real Penacony is basically a collective dreamscape designed by the family. The Trailblazer on March 7th meet up with Himiko and Welt, but hit some complications trying to check in. With the help of Aventurine, an IPC representative, Sunday, a representative of the family, and Robin, a universally renowned singer and sister of Sunday, the situation is resolved. They check into their rooms and later meet up with the rest of the Astral Express crew. Once there, Himiko explains their invitations to Penacony had a secret message concerning the Watchmaker. Side note, the Watchmaker is a prominent figure in Penacony's history and often referred to as the Father of Penacony. It is unclear what this means, but Himiko tells them to gather information as they enter the Dreamscape. The Trailblazer heads to her room and Aventurine is inside. Aventurine asks the Trailblazer to help retrieve some items for the IPC in exchange for great rewards. Just as Aventurine starts to act menacing, Acheron enters the room. Aventurine then leaves and Acheron says she came into the room because things look dangerous. Acheron introduces herself, says a few words, and then leaves. The Trailblazer then goes into the dream pool and enters the Penacony Dreamscape. Cut to a scene where Dr. Ratio and Aventurine discuss working together. Cut back to the Trailblazer inside the Dreamscape. The Trailblazer finds themselves in front of Misha in a place called the Gallery of Thoughts. The Gallery of Thoughts is a temporary connecting area being used because the Dreamscape version of the Reverie is under maintenance. Misha then guides the Trailblazer to another area called the Golden Hour. The Golden Hour is one of the 12 main areas of the Penacony Dreamscape. Once there, the Trailblazer bumps into Robin and Sunday who help her acclimate to the Dreamscape. The Trailblazer explores the area and finds the Dreamscape sales store. There they watch a dream bubble of the Aeon Akavili, the Trailblaze, and Pom-Pom. Side note, dream bubbles are virtual reality devices created for the dream world. The Trailblazer looks around some more and finds a girl being chased by a bunch of guys who accuse her of being a stowaway. They fight and someone named Gallagher from the Bloodhound family intervenes and lets them go. Side note, Penacony is controlled by the family, which consists of 5 lineages or subfamilies. The Bloodhound family is one of these 5 lineages. The girl says her name is Firefly, an artist of the Iris family, another of the 5 lineages. Firefly decides to take the Trailblazer around as a thank you for helping her. They go around and see the sights. As they're looking around, Firefly notices someone is following them. Turns out it's Sampo. Sampo says he's here from Belobog and suggests they go somewhere more fun. They go around collecting a bunch of items and take them to the Dreamscape sales store. Once there, Sampo uses the items to create a customized dream bubble. The Trailblazer goes through the dream bubble until Firefly pauses it, which causes the Trailblazer to exit. Sampo says the dream bubble was meant to convey some kind of truth before Firefly paused it. Sampo then suggests that something is going on in Penacony and with Firefly as well. Firefly runs off and Sampo says goodbye and leaves. The Trailblazer catches up with Firefly, who confesses she is hiding things and has an ulterior motive for hanging out with the Trailblazer. Firefly tells the Trailblazer she will explain everything at her secret stronghold. They head over and along the way they find a talking clock named Clocky who only the Trailblazer can see. Clocky asks for help rescuing Misha. Clocky takes them over where they see a gang confronting Misha and Acheron. Clocky then allows the Trailblazer to use his powers of clockwork to manipulate the emotions of the gang leader, driving the gang away. Afterwards, they all chat and it seems Misha can also talk to Clocky, though Acheron can only sense his presence. Acheron then talks about a memo keeper she met earlier from the Garden of Recollection. Side note, the Garden of Recollection is a group that serves the Aeon of Remembrance. They say their goodbyes and Firefly and the Trailblazer continue towards Firefly's secret stronghold. Cut to a scene where Aventurine unsuccessfully tries to work with a member of the Masked Fools. Side note, the Masked Fools is an organization devoted to the Aeon Aha, the Elation. They make their way through a series of obstacles until they eventually reach Firefly's stronghold at the edge of the Golden Hour. Once there, Firefly confesses she is a stowaway. Firefly's hometown was destroyed a long time ago and she is an interstellar refugee. Firefly also implies she has something called entropy loss syndrome, which eventually causes the sufferer to fade away. Firefly adds that her ultimate goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, and she does not want to be the Trailblazer's enemy. The two hang out for a bit before heading back to meet the rest of the Astral Express crew. They head back to the Golden Hour and it is strangely empty. They then bump into Sampo, who turns into a girl and sends them into another dreamscape. The Trailblazer later finds Firefly and they explore this new area. They eventually find and battle a monster when someone named Black Swan comes to assist them. Black Swan somehow sends the Trailblazer back to her hotel room at the Reverie in reality. Black Swan is there and suggests they go meet with the rest of the Astral Express. After meeting up, the Trailblazer learns Black Swan is a memo keeper of the Garden of Recollection and retrieved the Trailblazer at Himiko's request. The girl who Sampo turned into and attacked the Trailblazer is named Sparkle and is a part of the Masked Fools. Black Swan says the Penacony Dreamscape is collapsing and wants to work with the Astral Express to do something about it. Welt then reveals a message from Silverwolf, who gives them access codes to the real Dreamscape and mockingly warns them the Stellaron hunter Sam is also on Penacony. The Astral Express crew agree to work with Black Swan and head back into the Dreamscape. Once there, the Trailblazer finds herself with Black Swan and the rest of the crew has split up. The Trailblazer continues exploring with Black Swan and bumps into Acheron. Acheron says she was helping the Bloodhounds track a masked fool when in a flash of light she ended up here. Acheron seems to already know Black Swan. They all decide to travel together and continue on. Along the way they discover Firefly is here somewhere as well as the monster they fought before. They generally refer to the monster as the Memory Zone meme. They eventually reach the Dreamscape's Reverie hotel lobby and Firefly. Just then the Memory Zone meme appears, kills Firefly and leaves. Black Swan says she must leave to protect Himiko on March 7th. Black Swan leaves and quickly returns with the memory bubble showing Himiko and March 7th have been stopped by the family. At Himiko's request, Black Swan leads them back to reality, but not before Acheron performs some sort of rite for Firefly. As they are leaving, Black Swan somehow reproduces memories related to Firefly. It seems Firefly was here with a companion who betrayed her and that all this was related to the Watchmaker. They finally reach their destination and find Sam, the Stellaron hunter. They fight, and as Acheron is holding Sam off, Black Swan sends the Trailblazer somewhere else to Aventurine. It seems Black Swan and Aventurine had some kind of agreement. Aventurine claims that despite this, Black Swan did not betray the Trailblazer. Black Swan actually saved the Trailblazer from Acheron. Acheron is an emanator, though it's unclear of which Aeon. Aventurine explains that a while back, Duke Inferno and his faction, the Everflame Mansion of the Annihilation Gang, received an invitation to Penacony. As they were on their way to Penacony, Duke Inferno and those with him were killed, and their invitation stolen. Shortly thereafter, Acheron mysteriously shows up on Penacony with an invitation. Aventurine implies that Acheron is responsible for Duke Inferno's death and who knows what else. Aventurine asks the Trailblazer to help him and offers to show her a truth powerful enough to upend Penacony. The Trailblazer speaks with Black Swan, who says Aventurine is trustworthy and that Acheron seems to be deeply involved in recent events. The Trailblazer decides to go with Aventurine and see this truth. Aventurine then shows the body of Robin in a hotel dream pool. Robin's body has the same stab wound Firefly received earlier from the Memory Zone meme. Robin's body then fades away. Cut to a scene between Sunday and Robin. Sunday says that death has descended on Penacony and killed 2 more people. The 2 killed were a stowaway, likely referring to Firefly, and Robin. Robin then turns into Sparkle. Sunday tells Sparkle to stop impersonating his sister. Sparkle leaves. Sunday then says to himself justice will be met for those killed and that he will be seeing the Watchmaker soon. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you've liked what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.